ไหนวะเนี่ยไอ้หมาไอ้หมาไอ้หมาไอ้หมาไอ้หมามานี่ก่อนเร็ว
Good ride long. Tell it, no biting. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future, a representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before.
ตรงไหนดีวะWhat's that? ไปทางไหนวะเนี่ยหรือว่าเข้าไปข้างในเข้าไปในรูเปล่าวะอืมอืมอืมอืมอืมอืม
You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. This thing has a mind of its own.
ชี้
Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above.
อ๋อมันคือยานอวกาศมันต้องขึ้นทุกอย่างขึ้นไปทางไหนอะวะอ๋อทางนี้นี่เองไอ้สัส
Out of date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. What do you think his are? He's the one that's called out of date, remember? Out of date says there's a time for everything. And now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst. Something he calls
Kabobe Farhi.
two sides to everything, but for him it would be devastating if you were forced to use the Ark to escape while the world crumbled.
Tolu Keta. Ya Wawanaway.
Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history.
Yatu Yao
พูดเยอะจังวะ
Mawa.
He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of
Ko Bubuya Buy.
The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate.
Kujai. Ifar Befar.
He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head.
At Oloi O Bopaweg.
He understands
Ewe. Obebuko.
ไม่รอละ
Pai Ketawa.
out of date.
Mauketo. Totu Luaba. Kanjita Dwe.
That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's forebodings are justified. The jumbo puff needs to be taken care of.
Kutuvun Poputowe. Koibe.
He explains that Gizmo is working on a scrap walker vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done.
Kutuvun Poputowe.
Out of
Ikobe. Ifari Kobo Farmo.
he wonders what's on your mind.
Come ripa. Udenu Kupotobuata.
He says you
Farfarifto. Taimis.
he says you
Kabobe Farhi.
he wonders what's on your mind.
Bilia.
เยอะเกินเยอะเกินพูดเยอะเกิน
Kimhobe. Yunuluatula.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Yuba. Doluwawa.
He says you really need to go see Gizmo as soon as possible.
Kuzata. Ghetto.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Bubuko von Yunlu.
Hopes to see you again soon.
ไปทางไหนวะ เยอะพูดเยอะเกินอะ
Let's see.
ไปทางไหนดีวะ ผมบอกว่ามันต้องอัพสายปืนด้วยวะ เร็วสิครับ เร็วสิครับ
The trees are not giving up even as the world ends. you found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees.
dark sickly yeah go full เดี๋ยวนะเอจิ30ไม่เอาเซเบอร์ไม่เอาอันนี้เหรอมันเพิ่มอะไรวะ
Even with the world, the board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about them. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers up. They can carry you anywhere you like. Well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg... You're on the right. This box once tailed a chugger-chugger. Now it's just off track. Look at that, right in the chug yard. Follow the rails and you'll find all sorts of little treasures scattered all over the place. Who do you think? You're not the Good work. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. The big cut. Bomber Bonkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. between the eyes. Right in the face. Oh, flash. Slash. It's starting to add up. Slash. Slash and dash. Bites the dust. Bullets everywhere.
No.
Down to half your health. Nice shot.
Nhiều cái này quá. Sải đạp nó ấy.
Hot metal.
Cái bữaนี้ได้ไงวะ?
You have a good eye for that stuff.
ต้องไปซื้อนะก่อน ไม่มียาเลยแม่งเอากดผิด
Let's see.
ต้องไปซื้อยาว่ะไม่ไหว
You'd better get a move on if you want to change things.
What
Yes,
happened?
you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames.
สายสเตรนท์นะ
Muscles like steel.
บินหน่อยไหม
Breathe deeper.
วังคูฟูแรงคอมแบทกัน มีของดีในนี้แล้ว แล้วกูจะเข้าไปยังไงล่ะวะ
It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a... But Gizmo says how you... He hopes you remember that one time he taught you... You still... He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't... Gizmo understands you...
Getting darker around here by the minute.
The darker it gets, the easier it is to see the light.
Who wants the light? The world is ugly as it is.
Ugly is in the eye of, well, you.
You've always got to make it personal,
Sad to... You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mecton. There are more crates. There's no time to look back. Too busy moving on. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care.
Oh.
He who half breathes, half lives.
จะไปยังไงอ่ะ
Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about. Wonders why you don't just start doing whatever you want. Gizmo wants to help if he can. He shouldn't need to remind you that he needs scrap to finish the Mecton, and it's your job to get him some.
ไงอ่ะ
It's so vibrant out during daylight.
How can I go there? Tell me, tell me, tell me.ไปไงวันเนี้ย ไต่เชือกไปโน่นแล้วก็ขึ้นโน่น
This would make anyone woozly. Don't tip over.
แล้วฉันจะขึ้นยังไง เฮ้ย
Nothing can stop you. The best stories are about He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gather. Something he devised to salvage valuables from the ground. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon. but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if the best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog.
Not now.
Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead. It's a little feisty and tough critter, a perfect fit for a live ammunition, if you ask him.
ไม่ขอลองสิตุ๊กพ่อเอาจ้า เดี๋ยวนะมาทำอะไรวะดุนๆนะครับ
The grease monkey's mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? The air is thick with wet stuff.
ตบโน้ตตบนี่ไอ้นี่หรือว่าไอ้ที่มันชื่อว่าไอ้ฟาง
Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster.
อ๋อตายโอ้โห
That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to.
ทำไงอะ คือกูต้องลงใช่ไหม
Possible. Immo. Diava.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be.
ดีกว่า
Says he's a monster haunter, the best you'll ever see.
Piada.
Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes.
Immo.
Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make.
Goga.
You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves. When it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies.
Ja.
Worries that when the world dies, there won't be any monsters left. What will he shoot then?
Indapadang Watsuva.
Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead.
Garuda.
Approves of you working with the Jagni. They have the hunting spirits of a flock of hawks.
Garuda.
Mostly they don't actually haunt. They just help spot monsters for him.
Wow.
But enough of that, right?
Bestilka.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed.
Maskilka Michael Tagukal.
Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short. Thinks that it all hangs on the tree of life. When it started to fail, everything changed.
Ikaya Barafka.
Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately,
Badayan Analove.
there's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you say. Let's see. Finding some thick air might be wise soon. Time to do it on your own. Imagine you could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. Neutralized. You've had better days. It's so dark out. Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick.
อะดอกเยอะดอกวะไฟตกไฟตกไฟตกไฟตกไฟตกไฟตกไฟตกถอยหลังลงรถถอยหลังเราต้องโชว์เหนือไว้โอ้โหกูจะตาย
Zero on.
เฮ้ยเลือดไม่มีทำไงดีวะไม่มียาเลยอ่ะเลือดไม่มีอ่ะเอาจริงอันนี้กันนะวะมาสิจ้าเริ่มเป็นเส้นก่อนวะเริ่มเป็นเส้นดีกว่าเริ่มเป็นเส้นว่ะสวัสดีครับเดี๋ยวดิทุบหัวกันเอาทุบหัวกันเอาไปไหนแล้วอ่ะไม่โดน
Blasting everything to bits.
ทำงานเฮ้ยเอ้ยไปแล้วล่ะเอา9 โมงแล้วว่ะไม่ได้ไม่มีเลือดอ่ะ
There's a place and time for everything, but for that city scenario, it's already come and gone. We've got more than a flesh wound. A hero has to stand on its own. That's an absolute shame.
ตายง่ายยังวะเวนมังไก่ โหลดมาตรงไหนวะเนี่ย
You sit down too long, you might not get up. Stomping time.
มันมีท่าอะไรบ้างวะยิง
There's a place and time for everything. But for that
Come
city
on.
scenario, it's already come and gone.
เป้าก็ไม่ล็อกออโต้ให้
Kaboom!
Come on Come on บักวะเนี่ย
Don't trust your eyes so much. They play tricks in the dark. These steel legs were made for walking. Bang Shelter 7B is still there, open and ready to shelter. Took care of it. Get out of here.
ไปไหนแล้วลูกเรื่องเรียนเสียดิเสียละ
Boom. It's a wild sensation to be away from the open air.
Mưa đã, mongไม่เห็น
That was fun. Let's see.
กบบ้า
The light is nearly blinding. Whoa, smell that? Biohazard nearby. Brick-racks like this were symbols for the growth of the old world. Good hit. That's going to leave a
Get
mark.
up.
You're not dead yet. Now that's a flesh wound. Tại ngay không quá. Ôi, 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 ôi. อีกตาเดียวตาเดียวพอละ9 โมงละกว่าละ Bric-a-bracs like this were symbols for the growth of the old world.
อายเดี๋ยวตายง่ายยังวะหรือว่าเราไม่ได้อัพอะไรมันวะอืมหรือว่าเราอ่อนอะไรวะ เอามันรีเซ็ตวะ
Bric-a-bracs like this were symbols for the growth of the old world. Shot through. Made it count. Kill that.
จะรีเซ็ตเปล่าวะ
Low on health.
เอ้ยไม่น่ารีโหลดกระสุนเลยสัตว์เอาละ